everyone, this is Dawn, and this is part 24 of our retreat. This week, the title of this week is Jesus Surrenders to His Passion. And I was thinking earlier today about how we started this retreat and looking at a photo book of our own life, like imagining the pictures, and then we added in how God accompanied us in those images, and then we sort of shifted to looking at a photo album of Jesus's life, and then progressed through his ministry, and now we are up to the quintessential moment, and that the hardest moment in Jesus's life, I'm sure, and one that for me I am so thankful for the gift, but I don't really want to look at this moment. It's too painful, it's too hurting, too hurtful, all of those things. But that's what we're invited to do this week, to really look at this gift and understand a little bit better about the sacrifice that Jesus made out of his free will to do this in his freedom. So in any event, I have a handout that has some hints. It also lists the scriptures to use this week. It links to them, and it gives a little bit of a description. It begins with the Last Supper, it moves to the garden, and then the religious trial, and then Judas and Peter, and then the Roman trial, and the way to the crucifixion. So it links them, but it also gives you a few different things to think about with them. You might this week want to pray the Stations of the Cross. You can find lots online if you can't make it into a church. There's so many versions online. The idea for this week is to come to better understand the profound love Jesus had for each one of us in this. And I don't want to crowd it up with too many words, but when you think about what happened during this relatively brief period of Jesus's life, it begins in the upper room where Jesus washed the feet of his friends, and then they move to the garden where Jesus cries and bleeds and sweat, and it cleanses the earth, and all of those things that go, and how he becomes so alone. He's separated from everybody but his Father, basically. And so as you walk through this week, you're aware of this story. I mean, we're all very aware of this story, but maybe pretend like you've never heard it before, and really encounter these scenes in Jesus's life. Be present at each one of them, that the encounters that you read through, and think about what it would be like. What did it smell like? What did the earth like? Really place yourself in those. You can place yourself as one of the characters. You can be a bystander. Don't be afraid to look into the eyes of Jesus at each of the stages, and so that you're fully entered into this. I would suggest that maybe you divide up these readings one per day, and the night before you read through them and really pray through them. And then the next morning, as soon as you wake up, you remember what the scene was, or what the story was that you had read the night before. And then the next morning when you wake up, the first thing you do is to remember the story you read the night before and all that it brought to mind. And then you ask for the grace that as you go through the day, you let that be in the background of your everyday life. And so the idea of this is that you can notice the mystery of Jesus's passion revealed in the very small things of your own life. And so that links you more to the story. And then each day, as you finish the day, you can express gratitude for what God has revealed to you, how you have entered into the story, how you come to know and love God more. And so don't shy away from this week. Don't skip to next week, but fully enter in and become more aware of the love, the great love that God has for you. Have a good week.